We believe the first issue our country should focus on in 2017 is how to fund schools properly. Why do we need music and art?
It's important to have music and art because not every kid is strong academically with math or reading, and so sometimes it's music or art that makes them excited and want to come to school. And music and art can help kids in math and reading because it helps them with brain development. Studies show that when you're doing music, it helps you learn to count, it helps your neurons go a certain way. And also you can cooperate with it and understand the parts of the whole, and the same is true for art. It's a way to express yourself. And you know, we don't want kids just to be good test takers. We want kids to have an appreciation for music and art and for health and all kinds of things that are not necessarily on the test.
Does the state legislators have any plans to fund schools, or should schools have referendums?
You know, both. So the legislation sets the formula, and we have to follow that to see how our money comes in. They also have a lot of control over grants. So like small rural schools, they may potentially get grants for teacher performance grants that have money coming in for the schools. But also the locals have to have that flexibility as far as, are we going to run referendums and can we pass those to generate more money? So it's a combination of, we've got to have the state legislators help, but we also have to have that flexibility to capture money through referendums. They're both important.
How do you feel school funding is important for our schools?
You know, school funding is really important because it makes an opportunity to be able to do the things we're able to do. It's tough to fundraise to make a school work. Plus, if we're not getting the state funds, then we will have to cut back on certain activities. I think right now, at least in the United States, you know, academics and sports and all the extracurriculars are all part of the school. That's not the case in some other countries where actually if you're on a sporting team, it's not actually associated with the school. But we kind of try to do the whole aspect for students so they can be part of a school culture. And so I think it's really important the way it's going right now. Otherwise, things might have to be cut.
According to the Rural Policy Matters, here's a graph that shows how the percentage of money that goes into local, state, and federal funding goes into education.
Budget for that year. State government is ran on 6% of our state tax dollars. 6%. That means police, that means parks, that means all the buildings and infrastructure we own as a state has to be maintained. So when people talk about we need more money for education, what you have to do is think. You got two options. One, you can either raise your local taxes at a local level, or you can raise your state income tax, which now is about a 3.25%, which it used to be more than that, but over the last 12 years they kind of decreased that a little bit to give businesses and individuals a little more freedom of your money. So if you would increase that, the tax, people will cry, you've increased our taxes, that's wrong, you know, we're going to vote you out of office, that's not the way you're supposed to run government, you're supposed to find more money. Well, the problem is when you try to find more money, that means you have to cut another part of the budget.
What, if any, changes would you like to see in the school funding formula?
So the funding formula gets really complicated. It's a big, complex formula that Senator Mishler puts a lot of time into with Senator Kinley. But as far as the formula, the piece right now that's concerning a lot of people is the complexity index. And before, that complexity index was based on free and reduced students. And now it's based upon direct certification of some services to students. And so that has been a bit problematic for some districts, so to review that probably needs to happen.
Thank you. What would school be like without going to Spanish every day?
It would be really weird because it's really cool learning a new language and to see what other cultures are like.
What would school be like without basketball?
It would be boring, and I usually look forward to it after school, and I just wouldn't be able to do anything.
PTA to our diddly order, and let's see if we can't put an end to this strike fuss, huh? Mrs. Krabappel, why don't you begin?
Boo! Oh, boo yourself. Our demands are simple. A small cost of living increase and some better equipment and supplies for your children.
Oh, that's reasonable. Give it to him.
Yeah, in a dream world, we have a very tight budget to do what she's asking. We'd have to raise taxes.
Raise way too high as they are. Taxes.
Really decentralized the arts funding infrastructure is for nonprofit arts organizations here in the U.S. About 7%, as you see, comes from federal or local or state government subsidies, and really only, as you said, about 1% or so from the federal government. But what that means is that essentially arts organizations in a very entrepreneurial spirit are very agile and adept at getting funding from various sources, and also shows you that individuals really make, I think, a lot up the lion's share, in a sense, of arts funding, whether through earned income or through their own kind of individual donations. And so essentially it's the people who are funding.
In conclusion, the future of our country depends on the youth of today.